Welcome to Marketing Breakdown. I'm Dean Hua with Sachi Studio. Just some quick info about me before we get started. I've been in paid search marketing for the last 4 years with more than $1 million in managed ad spend under my belt across the trifecta of PPC. That includes Adwords, Facebook, and Bing. All right, so let's get started here. This is an internal tool that I developed to help onboard clients who are novices to PPC. I call it the pay-per-click profit calculator. So basically what it does is that it's a tool to help communicate visually the correlation and the impact that certain PPC metrics have on key performance indicators of a business. For example, PPC metrics such as your conversion rate and cost per click can have either a positive or a negative impact on KPIs such as your cost per lead, acquired customer, sales, profit, ROI. One of the bigger challenges to pay-per-click marketing is sometimes you deal with prospects or clients who either A, don't know a lot about PPC and its positive impact on the business, or B, they're skeptical about PPC. Maybe they had a bad experience in the past. Maybe their friend's neighbor's dog told them that AdWords is too expensive, it doesn't work. So every now and then I like to whip this tool out and kind of help show them visually how PPC really works and what a good campaign can look like. As a caveat, this is a very simplified calculator. There's no calculator out there that will take into account all the future variables of a campaign. But again, I like to use this as sort of a simplified tool to help onboard people who are complete novices to PPC and to kind of give them a visual as to how I would take on their campaign. In fact, just to give you one example, I actually recently onboarded a new client of mine. She was a bit skeptical about pay-per-click marketing because she had heard various things about Facebook ads and AdWords. But like many business owners, she just couldn't sit around and do nothing as well. So she decided to hire me on board and help her with her lead generation. I used this tool to help educate her about how a PPC campaign can look like. And I swear, within 10 minutes, she just felt so much more confident about what PPC could do to her business. Because it's one thing you try to articulate to them how this works, but it's another thing to show them visually how this works. So she just had more peace of mind as to what I could do for a campaign. So what I want to do now is take you through a common scenario of a business owner who's thinking about doing, let's say, an AdWords campaign or even a Facebook campaign, which Facebook is pretty popular right now as well. But let's just say I'll take you through the scenario of a business owner who wants to do an AdWords campaign and how certain metrics for PPC, such as your conversion rate, your CPC, or how certain business metrics, such as your closing rate, can affect your KPIs. Okay, so let's assume I'm a local business owner. More specifically, I'm a lawyer who wants to look into the viability of an AdWords campaign. And more specifically, I'm a DUI lawyer. So I want to bid on keywords such as DUI lawyer in Baltimore. And I want to know if the numbers will play out in my favor, where I will stand to make a profit, and how much profit will I make based on certain numbers. So the first thing I want to do is I did some research, and it turns out that if I want to bid on a keyword such as DUI lawyer in Baltimore, the cost per click will be about $50. Okay, and let's just say my budget on a monthly basis is $2,500. My conversion rate, what this basically means is how many of your clicks will convert into an actual lead. So how many people who end up landing on your landing page from an ad, how many of them will actually convert into a lead? How many of them will will give you a call, how many of them will submit a contact form. So let's say my conversion rate is 20%. And what that basically means is that for every 10 people who land on the page, 2 of them will convert into a lead. 2 of them will take action. My closing rate is really my personal selling skills. How well can I close a lead? So let's say I'm not just a good lawyer, but I'm a good salesperson as well, and my closing rate is 50%. So for every 10 people, for every 10 leads, I will close 5 of them into clients. Okay? And the value of the sale is basically how much is one client worth to me. In this case, one client is worth $2,000. I stand to make $2,000 from one client. So after you punch in all 5 numbers, you'll get these numbers over here. So what this is basically saying is that at a 20% conversion rate of a $2,500 budget, $50 CPC, 50% closing rate, my CPL, my cost per lead will be $250. Okay, so it'll be $250 for one lead, and with a budget of $2,500, I will be able to acquire 10 leads, 5 of whom will convert into customers because my closing rate is 50%. I stand to make $10,000 in sales for a total profit of $7,500 because $10,000 minus my advertising cost, $2,500, equals $7,500, and my ROI is 300%. Okay? But let's say I manage to improve my conversion rates, and it goes from 20% to 30%. And later on, I'll explain how you can improve your conversion rate. But let's say I'm going down this column, my conversion rate goes from 20% to 30%. What this then happens, this chart will show that my CPL will go from $250 and it drops down to $166. As such, because my cost per lead decreases, the number of leads increases, as does my customers, as does sales. It goes from 10,000 to 15,000, and my ROI goes from 300% to 500%. Okay, and you can see this played out by me. Let's just say I put in a 30% conversion rate here. See, same numbers: 166 CPL, $15,000 profit, 500% ROI. So if you give yourself a few minutes and you just play around with these numbers, you'll start to see how just changing one variable, such as your budget or the value of a sale, can impact your KPIs. Now let's talk about the target cost per lead. Okay, so we know that at a 30% conversion rate, in fact, let me just change this back to 20%. So we know that at a 20% conversion rate, my cost per lead is $250. But what if I don't want to pay $250? What if I only want to pay $150 max per lead? Okay, so if I'm only willing to pay $150 max per lead, at what conversion rate do I need to accomplish in order to achieve that $150 CPL? Okay, so I'll put $150 here. Now, what you'll see is that these green cells right here, what it's basically saying is that I'm able to achieve my target cost per lead of $150 or under with these conversion rate numbers. So at a 34% conversion rate, I'll be able to hit my CPL. At a 40% conversion rate, my CPL will drop to 125%. And these cells in pink, they stay pink because they're above my target cost per lead. So it's not enough for me to get a 30% conversion rate, because that would give me $166 CPL. Okay, and let's say if I was to change this to $120 CPL, how would this work? As you can see, based on these numbers right here, up to a 40% conversion rate, the cells won't change to green. I'll probably have to hit a 42 or 44%. In fact, I think 42% conversion rate before I can finally achieve my target CPL of $120. As I mentioned earlier, I included a tip sheet which breaks down across 2 different columns how you can reduce your CPC and how you can improve your conversion rates. And then I broke them down by platforms as well. For example, AdWords and Bing is grouped into one platform. Here's how you can reduce your CPC on AdWords and Bing if you chose to do this yourself. And here's how you can reduce your CPC on Facebook, which is more of a DIY platform or DIY advertising platform than AdWords and Bing can be. And then for all the platforms, here's how you can improve your conversion rates. And before we wrap things up, if you like what you saw and you want to see future marketing breakdowns, don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll be sure to answer them as best as I can. You can also connect with me across the internet. Here I am on Twitter, LinkedIn, Sachi Studio, my website. And like I said, for all your pay-per-click marketing needs, don't hesitate to give me a ring. All right, next time. Bye.